Welcome to Hollywood Actions. In this video, we're going to explore the deeply human and often hidden struggles of legendary actors from the golden age of Hollywood, who battled mental illness during their lifetimes. These were stars who lit up the silver screen but silently suffered behind the scenes, battling depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, anxiety, addiction, and more. From Oscar-winning icons to silver screen heartthrobs, the truth behind their glamorous facades reveals the immense pressure, stigma, and personal pain that came with stardom. Now, let's dive in. 1. Vivien Lee. Vivien Lee, the dazzling star of Gone with the Wind, was both admired and pitied in Hollywood circles for her battles with bipolar disorder. Off-screen, Lee experienced extreme mood swings, deep depressive episodes, and erratic behavior. Friends noted how her charm could transform overnight into explosive rage or deep despair. Despite her condition, she remained a consummate professional, often pushing through manic episodes during filming. Her illness ultimately affected both her career and her marriage to Laurence Olivier. Her courage in facing mental illness in an era of shame and silence is still admired today. 2. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift, a hauntingly beautiful actor known for films like A Place in the Sun and Judgment at Nuremberg, battled severe depression and substance abuse following a near-fatal car accident in 1956. The accident not only altered his appearance but sent him into a tailspin of painkiller addiction and emotional trauma. His internal war with his sexuality and Hollywood pressures worsened his mental health. By the end of his life, he was described as the slowest suicide in Hollywood. Despite his demons, Clift gave some of the most emotionally raw performances of his era. 3. Gene Tierney. A luminous star of the 1940s, Gene Tierney dazzled in Lorre and Leave Her to Heaven. Behind the beauty was a woman grappling with schizophrenia. After the birth of her mentally disabled daughter, caused by a rubella infection during pregnancy, Tierney spiraled into depression. Hospitalized multiple times, she endured electroshock therapy and even attempted suicide. In later years, she spoke openly about her illness, rare at a time when mental disorders were taboo, and became a fierce advocate for mental health awareness. 4. Judy Garland. Beloved as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland's life was a tragedy wrapped in talent. Pushed into stardom as a child, Garland endured years of abuse by MGM, forced dieting, amphetamines, and sleeping pills. These pressures, along with unstable relationships and financial ruin, led to lifelong anxiety, depression, and addiction. Despite her struggles, Garland's voice and vulnerability captured millions. Her death at 47 from a drug overdose shocked the world, and spotlighted how Hollywood can destroy the very stars it creates. 5. Peter Lorre. Best known for his creepy characters in films like M and Casablanca, Peter Lorre fought a lifelong battle with depression and anxiety. After the loss of his first wife and professional isolation due to typecasting, Lorre became addicted to morphine, initially prescribed for gallbladder pain. Though he tried to reclaim his career and kick the habit, his emotional and physical health declined rapidly by the early 1960s. 6. Frances Farmer. Frances Farmer's story is one of the darkest in Hollywood history. A rebellious, fiercely independent actress, Farmer openly criticized the studio system, leading to her being branded difficult. Diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, she was institutionalized for years and subjected to brutal treatments including insulin shock therapy and rumored lobotomy, though unconfirmed. Her raw biography in the film Frances 1982 resurrected her tragic tale, turning her into a feminist and mental health icon. 7. Anthony Perkins. Best remembered as Norman Bates in Psycho, Anthony Perkins battled deep internal conflicts over his sexuality and identity, contributing to episodes of anxiety and depression. Living in fear of being outed in a homophobic era, he sought psychotherapy and underwent years of analysis. His discomfort with fame and fragile sense of self often made relationships and career choices difficult. Perkins' performances were informed by his psychological depth, making him unforgettable on screen. 8. Ingrid Bergman. While not often listed in such discussions, Ingrid Bergman endured long bouts of depression, especially following her scandalous affair with director Roberto Rossellini, which led to public condemnation in America. Exiled from Hollywood and separated from her child, Bergman's mental health suffered during this period. Though she never publicly addressed her emotional distress, close friends confirmed. She had periodic breakdowns and severe depressive episodes behind her composed public image. 9. Marlon Brando. A legendary actor and a deeply tormented soul, Marlon Brando battled depression, emotional instability, and paranoia. Brando's childhood was filled with trauma. His alcoholic mother and abusive father shaped his distrust of people and authority. He struggled with his weight, relationships, and fame. Brando's children also experienced tragic outcomes, especially the death of his daughter and the murder conviction of his son, both of which deepened his reclusive behavior. 10. Louise Brooks. Louise Brooks, the silent film icon and flapper symbol, dealt with chronic depression and alcoholism. After turning her back on Hollywood, Brooks lived in obscurity and poverty. She suffered severe loneliness and suicidal ideation, and was once hospitalized for mental health treatment. Later in life, she found solace in writing, penning memoirs that candidly discussed her depression, regrets, and philosophical disillusionment. 11. Rita Hworth. Known as the love goddess of the 1940s, Rita Hworth struggled with profound anxiety, depression, and alcoholism. Her public persona hid a woman dealing with failed marriages, sexual trauma, and the pressure of being a pin-up queen. Late in life, her erratic behavior was misinterpreted as alcoholism, until she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. However, some biographers argue she showed signs of untreated mental illness far earlier in her life. 12. Sal Mineo. Sal Mineo, best known for Rebel Without a Cause, struggled with severe anxiety, isolation, and the pressure of being a closeted gay man in Hollywood. His post-fame years were plagued by depression, failed projects, and typecasting. Although he began to find peace in theater, his life was tragically cut short when he was stabbed to death in 1976, just as he was preparing for a comeback.